independent stepping up demonstrator here in McKinney, Texas. And I know Monday, I promised that today I would have 3 cards that you could make with kids, that you could make with supplies that are already around your house. And hang on, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. Okay, here's a fun one for kids. And this piece doesn't matter what color it is because it's going to be covered up with aluminum foil, the shiny side out. This is 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm just going to wrap this around here. Like I said, this is a good one for kiddos. It's also just kind of fun. Try and miter that. Okay. If you hear that coughing in the background, I may have to stop the filming and go see if my husband's choking on something. Goodness. All right, I've mitered those. I'm going to turn these down. You know, it would probably stay on its own. Foil is pretty good to work with. However, I don't want to take a chance. So I'm just going to use plain old adhesive tape. It says it's magic tape, so we'll see if it holds it down magically. Okay. And now I have taken from some garden green cardstock, but you could do this from green construction paper, whatever you choose. And we're going to use the back side because on the front side you can still see my pencil marks. What I did was I laid it out at 3 inches for my bottom part of my tree. And then I marked it at 1.5 at the center point. And then I measured up from that center point straight up 3 inches and made a little dot, and then came from each end of my line so that I have a 3 inch. And I did the same thing with the 2 inch one. I made a mark at 1 inch, went up 2 inches, made my thing. And the same thing with this 1 inch one. Made the mark at 1/2 inch, measured up 1 inch, made my points up there. But you can see I do have pencil marks showing. Rather than erase, I'm just going to glue this down on the other side. And I'm going to put it here. Now I want to put dimensionals on this side, and I'm going to use small ones. Probably 3 or 4 will be plenty. I'm going to line that up. To where this and this side match, or almost match. Okay, so I'm moving this up to where it's just a little bit larger. Okay, and that was the small dimensionals. Now, which side has writing on it? This side. So the side with writing, I'm going to put some larger dimensionals so they stand just a little taller. And I'm going to use some off of the edge. No one will know it but us. We don't need much. You know, that might just do it by itself. Maybe a teeny little piece. And that's one of the beauties of using these things on the very edge, is you can just cut them to whatever size you need. I just need a tiny piece there. So I'm putting that down. All right, let's take the back off of these. And remember, we're going to line it up first. And then move it up just a little bit. Well, that kind of looks like a tree in my living room. It's not quite straight. All right, turn that up just a little bit. Now, if I had a star, which I'm not sure if I do, but I do have lots of ornaments that we can put on here. Yeah. They're not really ornaments, but we can pretend they are. And a kid, you know, give them little stickers. They'll go wild and show you how great that can look. Do I have any? Oh, these are good. These have a little gold inside them. These were iridescent foil gems. I don't think they're available anymore. They just happen to be sitting here. But you know, it's a good time to use up any of the, I started to say ornaments, but any of the embellishments that are out of stock, let's see. I'm looking for a star. I think we had some in the Halloween stuff, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm just going to put a big shiny one on top, and I'm going to move this one down if I can. Yes. Then you could have someone with good handwriting, not me, write a Merry Christmas message. I'm going to put this on a piece of cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to glue it down. Now, I think a child would be happy to have made that. You could, if you have embossing folders and embossing machine, run this foil. There was a backing off of a dimensional. Run the foil through your machine and give that some sort of an embossing. That would be pretty. But remember, we talked about we were just doing what we could do with things around the house. So there we go. There's one that a kid would be happy to make with you. And spending time with them. I mean, my grandkids and I have been doing cards together for many, many years. Let's add this little red one. Or not. It doesn't want to stay stuck. I must not have pulled. No, I didn't pull the glue off with it. All right. So I have another one. Hang on. All right, for this one, I chose the kind of 50-ish colors that are really popular right now. The teal and the pink and white. And I actually took some of that foil that we had left and covered one of the pink ones. And these are just circles cut out. I'm going to add this to it. You know, another one that would be cute would be like crumb cake or a craft paper that you might have saved back, and like twine. You could even use garden twine. Remember, we're trying to use things that you're just finding around the house. Do want to use some dimensionals to pop this piece up. This one is the same as the width of the paper here. This is a 8.5 by 5.5 white, just folded in half at 4 1/4. So this is 5.5 inches wide, and I want to put dimensionals down for this because I want to raise it up. And again, I'm using edges. So let's put some here. I'll put some down at the other end. We're popping this up because we're going to be running ribbon back there. Or I guess it's ribbon. Like I said, you could certainly use twine, but in this case, I'm going to use this silver. And I've not used this, so hang on a second while I open it. There we go. And I'm going to use some of that magic tape again and run some of this silver from behind here over the top. Go ahead and let this sticky help us a little bit. I apologize. It is awfully noisy at my house tonight. I just heard a helicopter go over, just all sorts of things we don't usually have going on. I don't know if this is picking that up or not, but if so, I apologize. All right, more of that magic tape. We're going to put 3 across here. I'm eyeballing the center. I guess I could use this. That would be helpful. Okay, that'd be about 2.5. So I was close. And then I need 1 more. And let's go ahead and pull this off. And we'll stick that down. All right, so now we have these 3. And I want them, I don't want you to just hang down. I want them to come over the top and hang down. So I want to put 1 here. And let's use these baby dimensionals for that. Do I have any baby ones left? Oh, just side pieces. Okay, that'll work. All right. And I think I want this one to hang right around in here. So then I can cut the tail off of this where it won't show. And we'll do the same to this side. Again, I'm just cutting the edges. Now, I have a stamp. It's actually retired. It's from last year. It's one that I just happen to love a lot. And because the way it's, the typeface is on it. If I had a child doing this one, I would want the child to handwrite it and put the year on the back of when they did it. And you can just make really special memories doing things like this with kiddos. And let's see. Let's put this one up a little higher or a little lower. Yeah, let's do a little higher. You know, let the kids pick their own colors. Oops, I don't think I did a very good job with that one. Because I didn't tape it down. That would be it. Oh, man. That's what happens when I get in a hurry. Anyone else do that? There we go. I'm not sure why I'm not getting that to behave. All right, hang on. This is not going to beat me. I want this on this side, like that. There we go. Now, the kids could put little smiley faces on. They could put little Santa stickers on. I don't have any little Santa stickers. I have some little candy cane things, but we could put some little other embellishments on. But then I would let the kids go wild and do what they wanted. Okay, let's go on to the last. It is a little more complicated, but not bad. Hang on. Okay, this one is definitely the most complicated, but I'm going to show you real quickly how it's done, and you'll be surprised. It wouldn't have to be red cardstock. It could just be, you know, a piece of any kind of thick paper you might happen to have around the house. This one, I did not put an inside piece yet, but 4 by 5 1/4 would be perfect size to go in here. This one it is a fun fold. It opens this way. So I will show you. Pardon if you hear sneezing in the background. That is my husband. He sneezes loudly. Let's see. I'm going to take a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 white cardstock, and it can be, the way I'm showing you this is because it could be any size piece that you wanted to do. You want to cut just a little bit, maybe a quarter or a little bit more than the size of your cardstock. So I'm going to cut this right here. Now I want to, okay, this one has a soft side and a shiny side. If you have paper like that, you want to work on the soft side, not the shiny side. It won't accept ink well. So any stamp set, and this is from our Advent calendar stamp, which is not a Christmas stamp per se, but we're going to make it one. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be anything specially made for Christmas. I'm going to take red. You could also just color this in with markers. This same thing would work. I do want a piece of scrap, though. Let's see if I can find some scrap. Here we go. Because this is going to go off the side. I'm going to put these flowers, and I know they're not poinsettias, but they have kind of a look of a poinsettia. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm using real red. Again, you could use markers and draw your own. This would be a fun one for kids too. And I'm just going to put another one over here. Okay. Now I want to close my red. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, which is a medium yellow. It's not real dark, but it's not light either. Like our Lemon Lolly is really light. This is just a medium yellow, and I'm going to put the center in there. Don't know how well that's going to show up on camera because it's not real dark like the red. All right. And then I'm going to put in some leaves. Again, you could draw in the leaves. I happen to have these just sitting out here because I've been working on Advent calendar things. Okay. I'm going to put a leaf I think I want this one going off of the paper. And this is Mossy Meadow, if you do have our inks and want to copy. I think I'm going to give this one that's in the center a couple of leaves. And okay, now comes the fun part. All right, that's all the stamping. We're going to take this tissue paper and wad it up into a little ball and set it aside. And while it's all crumpled up over there, we're going to take our piece of cardstock and put some tear and tape, any strong two-sided tape will work. You could also just, after you fold this paper around this, you could also just tape it down with plain old adhesive tape. Oop, that one ran out. Let me grab another one. All right, there's plenty of tear and tape on this one. I think I'm just going to put them right along the edge. Okay, now when you put down this tear and tape, you want to make sure that you take your bone finger or a fingernail and run these down really well to get them to stick. And when they're stuck really well, then it's easy to take this tape off. All right, now we want to take this and open it back up. And it did smear a little bit. That's okay. All right, I'm going to take this tape off. All right, there we go. Usually my short nails work really well with this, but take a pokey tool of some sort or our, oh, goodness, or take your pick tool if you can't get your fingernails under that. All right, now I'm going to pick my paper here and put it shiny side to the card. And just go all the way around, putting it down. You don't want to stretch it too tight, then you lose that wrinkled rice paper kind of look and feel. Okay, that's cool. Now if you have anything, because I did not miter these, if you have anything hanging off the edge, just give it a quick little clip. I'll do that on all four corners. Did the same thing on the other one, the sample. Okay, now I'm going to put down some more of the tear and tape just because it does hold well. And then you could put this on any color card, actually. Not just the red. The green would look good. A white, of course. piece of shaded spruce that's already cut to 4 1/4 by 11. That. My bone folder. Give it a good crease. Now I did the other one, landscape. We'll do this one, portrait. And where this did smear a bit, I'm going to go just put my ribbon I was going to use. I'll put a little bit of my ribbon over that. And I'm just going to pull this off because my ribbon's going to go down there. Okay. Be patient. It is stuck to our tissue paper really well. There we go. I guess I will have to get a pokey tool. Yeah, it's very happily married to. Oops. No problem. All right, that one's coming up. That one's coming up. It's just this one. It's being very ornery, and there it goes. Okay, so now I want to put my ribbon on here. And I laid it tight across that little bit of sticky, but I'm going to go ahead and give it just a little bit of extra. Just in case. And this is already very sticky now from our tape. And we'll just put it down here on some shaded spruce. And now you could add any sentiment or any picture, anything that you would like on there. But there's your background. And I just added a little Merry Christmas. Okay. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you give one of these a try. If you do, put the picture in the comments below. We'd love to see. Thank you for sharing. And have a happy holiday.